It is overtime here again, an old favorite Friday, discussing incredible classic beers. And as you can see, I am joined by a friend here. This is Adam Feingold, buddy of mine for a long time. He owned his own brewery here in South Florida. He was owner, brewer, Bangin' Banjos, currently working for Ollie, which is a brewery software, and someone that I work with regularly. And he was kind enough to bring by a bottle that we've never done an Old Favorite Friday because I can't get it anywhere because it's not even available in the United States, and that is Westvleteren 12. This is one of those beers that was, for the longest time, like the holy grail for craft beer aficionados. For many, many years, when Beer Advocate was like the big dog and the beer rating sites, it was the #1 beer in the world year after year after year. It is a Trappist quadruple, and it was, other than one release in the United States when they were redoing their Abbey and needed to raise some money, this beer is only available in Belgium in very small quantities, hence the rareness, and I think one of the reasons why the beer has become so popular. But the beer is fantastic. It's not just rarity. We all know, Adam, I'm sure you remember like beers that are super rare and then you try them and you're really disappointed. This is not one of those beers. So, Adam, how'd you get your hands on this bottle?
So back lifetimes ago, my Bangin' Banjo days, I had a regular of mine who he had gone to Belgium and picked up a bottle and came back and was like, hey, I want to gift you with this bottle. Have you had it before? And I had many moons ago, prior to that, at a bottle share that it was mixed in. I remember it being quite delicious, and I was just holding on to it, waiting for the right moment. And with you coming on to the Ollie platform and joining the Next Class family, I was like, you know what? Let's crack it open.
Well, I appreciate that. So I've had this beer. My partner Bill McPhee, who is a Belgian beer, I mean, he has a mental health disorder when it comes to Belgian beer, but he's okay with it, so we can talk about it. I've had this beer so many times because he has had this beer so many times and so kindly shared it with me, it really does live up to the hype. Now, I will say this bottle is at least 8 years old minimum. I'm saying more like 10 or 12. We had a hard time looking at the bottle design and where it actually might be. We couldn't find a date on it, but just by the carbonation level and the flavor profile, you can tell that this beer has some age to it. A lot of sediment in the bottle. I didn't do the most perfect pour, so I'm not going to put it up to the screen so you can see it because it's a little murky. But let's talk about the beer itself. The legend that is Westy 12, raisin, fig, molasses, chocolate. Is there anything I didn't mention that you're picking up, Adam?
I mean, definitely a little bit of plum. You're getting a smidge of oxidation just from that time. That's really actually bringing out and accentuating all the other flavors.
Even maybe adding some caramelization,
yes,
like a little bit of caramel to it.
A good, darker caramel even for the style that I'm getting. And, definitely plethora of Belgian candy syrup that's been used in producing and brewing this beer that's just coming through. And with the age, I mean, just there's a lot of fruit. I mean, you can even dig in some peach, a little citrus character that's just kind of coming through mildly, but still there.
I mean, one of the things about this beer that is just so famous is its complexity, right?
Yes.
You go back for every sip, you're unlocking new flavors, the yeast they use, the Belgian candy sugar. I have a lot of experience with Belgian candy sugar. When you get the good stuff, the flavors are just insane. And you want to just take it and pour it on your pancakes or something. Yeah, I'm getting dark cherry out of this. You're getting that plum and raisin. It really is. This is one of those beers that if you have an opportunity to get your hands on it, you really have to at least once. And if you are someone who really loves Belgian beer and you can, kind of get a little haul and put it down and have 6 bottles and taste them over time, because while this beer, the way it tastes right now is not the way it tasted 10 years ago, and it's not the way it's going to taste in 5 years. These beers really are like wines. They age over time. They develop different complexities. And I tend to lean more towards younger beer in general. I mentioned my partner Bill again. He loves beers this is his wheelhouse for sure. If I had my druthers, I would have loved to drink this beer 5 years ago. That's just me. A little higher in carbonation. That fruit might be a little more prominent and less of those oxidative characters coming out. But that is not to defame this beer as it stands here because it's absolutely delicious. Old Favorite Friday is usually predicated on old classic beers. This brewery started in 1839, right? There was the first beers they ever did.
Yeah.
In 1940, this recipe has been unchanged since 1940. So the age is there. The other big thing, Adam, I try to do, availability. I like beers that you can get at the grocery store and that we overlook because they're so ubiquitous. this is not bad, right? This is famous. This is a beer that everybody knows is special, and you really have to go out of your way to get it. But when you do, you'll get and you'll understand. I believe you'll get and understand why this beer is so special.
Yeah, absolutely, and I'm with you. I think that fresh beer is generally better. 9 out of 10 times. Like you said, 5 years earlier, I think would have peaked out for this specific bottle. There are specific cases where I could see this beer aged under the ideal conditions the entire time, seeing a different side of it and different characters that you wouldn't be able to get fresh. And that's the beauty of a beer like this, is that it's a journey. And one of the things that unfortunately not having it available all the time, it's not so easy to get a vertical where you can try many different years in a row.
That's a luxury for a select few of us. But I mean, listen, there are some people that say this beer hits its peak at 20 years, right? I mean, everyone has, beauty is in the eye of the beer holder, as people have said. It's really up to you. But if you're a fan of Belgian beer and you can track this beer down, please do. If you're just a craft beer aficionado, you stumbled on this channel and you're like, hey, I want to try these special beers. Don't sleep on this beer because it's no longer the #1 rated beer in the world. Don't sleep on this beer because so many American breweries have come and done their whales and limited production and kind of rubbed a little bit of shine off a classic beer like this. Because when you compare this beer to so many of them, this is going to outshine the lot, because it's not using adjuncts, it's not using any gimmicks, it's just using great brewing tactics with incredible ingredients and the legacy of an incredible brewery to make a great beer. Adam, I'm going to put you on the spot here. You don't have to have an answer for it, but I always like to give food pairings for the beers. Do you have any suggested food pairings, or what you'd like to eat with this delicious beer?
Yeah, truthfully, you could easily go with a pork chop with potatoes au gratin, maybe with like a darker green with it, maybe asparagus, or you want like Brussels, maybe mixed with like some nuts and a few different things.
You're really going in for a whole dish. I like how you built the whole plate. I like that. That's good.
Well, I'm a foodie of a background, but a pork chop, the fat would play really nicely with that into here. And with a nice sear, I would definitely go with it grilled over just like a simple bake on it. The caramelization from this beer will just bring out the characters of the meat. And being a pork chop versus a steak, it's not going to overpower it like a ribeye that you're going to have plenty of fat, plenty of sear, and it's not going to be, too, if you like your steaks the way I do, medium rare or even rare in some cases.
I'm in a similar vein with you. I was thinking about like Memphis-style barbecue, something with a really nice dry rub. Nothing sauce heavy. You don't need sauce heavy with this, but all the spices of a good dry rub on something like a brisket or a pork butt, something of that nature. You're going to get all the flavors from the yeast, which are these phenolic and fruity flavors, are going to pair so well with the pepper and the paprika and the spices and everything that goes with that. And you don't need a lot more. Once again, you don't want to bathe it in a vinegar sauce because you've got so much going on here with the beer. Those fruity flavors really bring those things out. And the last thing is, to me, no-brainer, prosciutto wrapped figs stuffed with blue cheese. Just just decadent. And first of all, I could eat those anytime. But if I could eat those with this beer, I'd be a really happy guy. Listen, Adam, I really appreciate you joining me, sharing this amazing beer. I've been so lucky to have friends, obviously locally, to do this, but also people that watch this and send me beer are so kind. I really, really appreciate it. Sharing beer with people is one of the reasons why I've been in this industry for over 15 years and why it keeps me going. Please, if you like this, please, like, subscribe, poke around the channel, see other videos. We're talking about incredible great beers. These aren't beer reviews. These are features about beers that we know are amazing, know are fantastic, and we want to give them some love because they deserve it. Adam, thank you very much for joining me.
Cheers.
Cheers, man. We'll see you next time.